Welcome back to another spill drop video. Today we're going to be touring my new garage base design. This build has a 2x3 footprint, and if you want to see how this base comes together, let me know down in the comments, and if there's enough interest there, then perhaps that build video will come in the future. This current layout is a single car garage with room for 2 horses, a mini helicopter, and a number of motorcycles or bicycles. This is a very fortified design, about as strong as I could make it without making the build any larger. So without further ado, let's go ahead and tour the spill drop 2x3 high lift garage base build. From out here you can see a number of different peaks that allow you to look down from inside the garage at the surrounding area. Each side has these nosebleed peaks as well as a turret guarding them. There are also additional windows that can be used to shoot outward from the base, or this pretty cheeky peak here in the front. Going in, we have the car lift here on the right side, and we have the motorcycle or bicycle or horse garage bay here on the left side. I also have a hopper set up here in this prison cell wall that should effectively gather any manure that drops anywhere within this 1x1 square from the horses that you've got set here, so that you can create your own fertilizer. There's also plenty of additional storage around here, as you can see, with some food boxes up top here and behind the trough, fuel overflow storage up here, and a sunken refinery down here in the lower level. This sunken refinery is what gives this base design its name, the high lift garage, because you need to be able to place this refinery down on the ground level and get these foundations high enough that you can place the car lift so that it is technically over the top of this refinery. That gives you the option to make this placement, which allows you to actually use this space in front of the car lift on the left here in the honeycomb next to the car lift. We've got plenty of storage here, some boxes along the floor to help you walk around, and a switch here to turn the lift on and off. We have a tier 2 placed in this gap. A tier 3 should also fit just fine, but you may need to push the car lift a little bit further back this way. Should be enough room to do so without interfering with the garage door. And of course, in this gap, we have the tool cupboard. It can be a little tricky to jump up in here, but once you peek in, you can see the upkeep here, which is really not too bad. A little bit of internal storage here as well in case you need to store anything that's a little bit more high value. You can stash it behind this garage door. For the right side of the base, outside of what we've already seen with the prison cell wall stack, we have a computer station here in case you want to access any of the cameras that we've got set up, or the turrets, also in case you want to fly any drones around. Through here we have some sleeping bags, which can add additional respawn points. This is a pretty good spot to put them because really nothing else will fit in here. Push all the way through back here to this lower barrel, and all 11 of these electric furnaces can be tied into different boxes or other modules in this build to add additional smelting capacity to this design. Definitely not necessary, but I like to have some pretty self-sufficient bases when I can, and this is a very easy module to add to pretty much any design to really increase its capabilities. Jumping up here, we have a little airlock built in to get to the second floor. So as long as these garage doors are closed, if this triangular ladder hatch is open, nobody will be able to get through to the second floor here. This hatch here takes us even further up to the roof. We'll get to that in just a minute. We have a nice respawn point here with beautiful views, some additional drop storage here. We have our peek downs, which let you look down around the base of this turret here. If you want to have better views just straight down, you can break out this floor. You don't really need the turret there unless you want the extra security, but you've got really nice angles. We have some weapon racks in here to fill up this empty space. They're really great deployables because they don't take up almost any lateral space at all. wall, so you can move around them, but they still store weapons really effectively. And through here we have a little peak. You get really good angles, and it's very tough to know if anyone's looking at you through these little window slits. You also have some high angle peaks here that let you look up to the roof and out around the base in case there are any airborne enemies flying around. I placed this turret here to guard the primary garage area, just in case anybody tries to sneak through those front doors and gets past the turret that's mounted up in the roof there. Through here we have another bedroom, more or less the same kind of layout, similar peaks to the other side, but I included the engineering workbench on this side just to add a little additional utility. Hop into the ladder hatch here, and it will take you up to the roof. Now this is the mini garage, so you can park a mini heli in here, and I did some experimenting to see if it was possible to forcibly mount the mini heli from down here, even if you place like a floor or something off of this wall. I wasn't able to get to any point where I could mount the heli and push through this gap using that feature. So I don't think it's possible. I could be wrong, but it didn't work for me in testing. So this is a pretty secure module. We have some additional windows that you can use embrasures on or leave with the reinforced glass. I tend to leave the glass in here unless I'm expecting a raid or if I need to do some defense right away. This hatch here takes you back down to the first bedroom that we were looking at. As you can see down this way, I like having two routes up to the roof in a base when I can, because it allows you to defend the base from one side or the other if one particular side is being targeted by the raiders. It gives you a little bit more mobility and a little bit of additional security. Popping out here, I've added a bunch of sandbags to this design. This is a pretty underutilized deployable for a couple of pretty important reasons. For one, it doesn't have a lot of HP, so these get shot out pretty quickly in a raid, and they don't provide a ton of additional cover. Not a lot of people use them, so I thought I would try to find a design where they felt like they fit, and this kind of seems to fit the bill. You can also use those sandbags to jump up here on the roof, get access to this little shooting area if you'd like to use it, and also so that you can climb up and maintain your windmills. As you can see, I also have one of the pitch tilt zoom cameras up there, so you can see full 360 views around this base with very few hiding spots, giving you the best ability to defend your base. And if this garage is in a larger compound, it will allow you to see a lot more of that compound from within your garage just by using this computer station down here. And that is the full extent of this build. I'll give you a little walk around so you can kind of see how this design looks from the ground. Obviously, that is where the TC would be, where you see the armored walls and foundations there. All of the rest of the first floor is going to be sheet metal, just to prevent a little bit of an easier access by raiding via rockets through the walls, forcing players to go through these garage doors. If you set up your turret inside the garage, that's a pretty good point of defense for these two doors if any potential raiders haven't already been killed by the turret up there through this gap that you can see. All in all, this is not a super expensive build. You can see the build and resource cost up in the top right corner here. Very reasonable in terms of the costs for building this design. Nothing too crazy. I'm a big fan of how this design turned out. There are smaller garage bases out there, but some of them do start to lose functionality if you make the footprint too small. So I recommend making your garages a little bit larger than you think they need to be when you're initially building them out, because you will definitely find that extra space is extremely helpful. If you want to check out this design or any of my other public builds, I recommend checking them out here at Rusticated. You can find this design or any of my other published builds on Rusticated by going to the Creative Builds search page and typing in either Spill Drop or the High Lift barn slash garage build. That's all that I've got for you for today. A relatively compact and defendable garage or horse barn base with a number of key features that will keep you going in a longer wipe or give you the extra security that you may need. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. It's free and you'll get to see all of my videos as they come out, and you will be notified by YouTube when some new videos or exploits are available. If you enjoyed this build, drop a like down below. I'm your friend Spilldrop. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.